The Biden administration is still living in a bizarre worldview where Dearborn, Michigan actually cares about the Palestinians. They don't. All the protesters you see care about destroying Israel. But desperate times and terrible poll numbers call for desperate measures. Here's Secretary of State Antony Blinken this weekend.
As we look at Rafah, they may go in and have some initial success, but potentially at an incredibly high cost to civilians, but one that is not durable. They will be left holding the bag on an enduring insurgency because a lot of armed Hamas will be left, no matter what they do in Rafah. Or if they leave and get out of Gaza, as we believe they need to do, then you're going to have a vacuum, and a vacuum that's likely to be filled by chaos, by anarchy, and ultimately by Hamas again.
In other words, Israel shouldn't go into Rafah because Hamas will control Rafah after Israel leaves Rafah, which sounds really smart until you realize Hamas controls Rafah right now. It's also where Hamas holds the remaining hostages, including 5 Americans. And you don't hear much about the 5 Americans anymore or about increased attacks by Hamas on the Israeli military. None of that gets covered either. All we hear is about just how evil Israel is. Even the New York Times admits the mass protests have emboldened Hamas. Israel and U.S. intelligence officers say to the New York Times that Hamas's strategy is to keep the war going for as long as it takes to shred Israel's reputation internationally and to damage its relationship with its primary ally, the United States. Guess what? Hamas's strategy is working, probably even working better than Hamas hoped. However, Israel has a little bit of a say in this, and they're going it alone. They don't really have a choice. Israel has to go it alone. They often have. President Biden is abandoning Israel for his domestic political audience, but there's a far bigger risk here, not in terms of Israel, but the world. And the world now realizes President Biden can't or won't enforce his will around the world. Enemies don't fear us and allies don't trust us. Here's the UK Prime Minister warning today about that threat.
The dangers that threaten our country are real. They're increasing in number. An axis of authoritarian states like Russia, Iran, North Korea and China is working together to undermine us and our values. War has returned to Europe, with our NATO allies warning that if Putin succeeds in Ukraine, they might be next.
Dmitri Alperovitch is here, co-founder and executive chairman, Silverado Policy Accelerator. New book, World on the Brink: How America Can Beat China in the Race for the 21st Century. Welcome. On set himself. It is good to see you, my friend. Congrats on the book. Huge, well-written, and well thought out. The warning from the British Prime Minister seems to leave a world where America's leadership is now not what it has been for the past 30 years.
Yeah, for sure. And when you look at the Israeli situation, there's no way that Israel doesn't go into Gaza, right? Sinwar is there. He is the bin Laden for Israel. We went into Pakistan to get bin Laden. He's in Rafah. They're going to go and get him. And the Ukrainians are ignoring Americans when they tell them not to attack refineries in Russia because they know that they have to hit Russia in order to have a successful possibility, at least, of victory. So the reality is that Americans can tell, Israel can tell Ukraine not to fight back. They're not going to listen. This is existential.
All right, so at every point, as America takes a step back, metaphorically, right, and the world stops listening to America, does that put us one step closer to a world on the brink?
I think so. And, as I write in this book, the real threat here is China. They're the one superpower that can take us into conflict, potentially nuclear conflict, and we have to avoid it at all costs. I believe as soon as 4 years from now, they may go after Taiwan. And Taiwan is existential to our interests, not just because of semiconductors that are there, but because it's the linchpin of U.S. strategy for Asia. If China dominates Taiwan, they kick us out of Asia. That's 50% of the world's GDP in that region, most of the supply chains, most of the growth. Dominating East Asia leads to domination across the world.
Okay. China's watching all this. It seems as though they're at least fermenting it a little bit by how they're helping Iran and emboldening Iran, giving Iran cover. What is the prescription if it is something other than America retaking its leadership role?
Well, I think we have to show leadership and show strength, first and foremost. Peace through strength. We don't want war, but we have to deter war. And when it comes to particularly China, we have to make sure that Xi Jinping wakes up every single day and says, today is not the day. That means military strength. That means economic strength.
But it also means resolve, right? And the one thing that America has not shown over the past few years is resolve. We've shown that our whole goal is non-escalation, not keeping our enemies from doing bad things. Those are different things. Xi Jinping sees that. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.